Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Taurus for the month of March, including late February 2025. So Taurus, we are presently in the zodiac sign of Pisces. So Pisces is all about emotions, intuition. Can be anything from a stagnant pile of water to a gushing torrent of water as far as emotions go, and intuition as well, but usually the intuition sort of overrides. The element is water, obviously. You're in your 11th house of group collaboration, teamwork, very much an Aquarius energy here, very outward looking, lots of breakthroughs coming through in the 11th house as well, so looks to be quite interesting. So your energy is the Two of Wands, so we've got decisions to be made here, Taurus, so about moving forward with a project, a relationship, almost anything that's sort of sitting there in the to be decided area. You have with the Two of Wands, it's quite interesting because the options are both positive with the Two of Wands. So you can go towards the known or the unknown, it's up to you. However you're feeling, brave or not brave, to go to the unknown, to be brave, or to go to the known, being just cautious, Taurus, practical people. But nevertheless, it's a great card to have, but the main onus is on the making the decision and moving forward. Where you are right now. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. So we're looking back over the harvest, basically. So it's about looking back over what you've already achieved in the past months in terms of your work, home life, how things roll in your life on this earth, basically. The housekeeping sort of issues with work and home. And it's about looking back and seeing the positives, not the negatives, because we often, as I always say, we often attach ourselves to the negatives, what hasn't been done. But it's probably a lot better to attach to what has been done. And then you can see, you know, how far you've come and where you want to go next and keep going. So really nice card. It's also the harvest card, and we are, in fact, as I said before, the harvest card. So in the southern hemisphere here, we're very much into the harvest season. So all those beautiful things that grew with the summer sun are now sort of coming ready to be harvested. So it's a really great card to have, actually, Taurus, being an earth card and all. So let's see the influencer. And we have the Knight of Cups. So messages coming through with the Knights, obviously they are messengers. So there's a sort of message of love coming through, perhaps a message of something that you're very emotionally invested in, maybe coming through. Now, whether or not that's going to be viable for you is the question that will be hanging over you this next 4 weeks. And it is Cups, so it's emotional. So it's being, especially for you, Taurus, about being emotional, whereas you're very practical, earthy people. This could come from a person. Obviously it's a knight, so it's going to be a person offering you something. Now, it may be a fleeting offer. So just be aware of that with the Knight of Cups, because he's very much an idealist. So it's how he wants things to look. It's not necessarily how things are, if you get the drift. So we'll just err on the side of caution with that Knight of Cups. Now, if it's a relationship and you want to just go and have fun and go with the flow, do it, but also be mindful of the fact that it could be sort of very fleeting and very much idealistic. So once the sort of honeymoon's over, it could be like, that's it, finish. if you understand what that context is. And the same with any kind of offer, you know, it may just be a great idea at the time, but then there hasn't been any real deep thought gone into it. Okay, let's see the background. And we have one of your cards, the King of Pentacles, sitting at the top, being very sort of mindful, being very practical, being the one that sort of says, oh, maybe not, you know, just be careful. Using your Taurus energy there. And keeping in mind too, we are once again in the 11th house of group about the group and team collaborations, etc. So perhaps your word is probably good, and perhaps this is coming in with some sort of person coming in there in the group saying, oh no, but let's do this is great, you know, and usually a younger person or an immature person with the Knight of Cups who doesn't really fully understand the gravity of the situation. But there you've sort of, your sort of strong aspects will come through with the King of Pentacles sitting here to go, oh, hang on a minute, let's be a bit more cautious about this decision. Okay, recent influences, and we have the Page of Pentacles. So there is some worth here with the Page of Pentacles. It's a seed card, also a messenger card. It could be something really good on the, you know, sort of just in that seedling stage of life where you decide to, okay, what are we going to do? We're going to water and grow it and see how it goes. But we have to do those things in order to keep it alive and keep it thriving. So there is a good idea here, or a good sort of opportunity coming through here. So we'll just have to read the rest of the cards to see where that goes. But overall it's a very positive card, the Page of Pentacles. It will grow into something that will reap rewards and returns for you at a later date, if you look after it. Okay, so the lesson you'll be learning, 9 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands is all about completion. It's all about a project that's nearly to its finish. However, you're a bit sort of exhausted with it. So it may be you may be feeling like, oh God, I just can't do another step. But you shall be able to do that as usual. The 9 of Wands it's literally, you know, at the end of the day, a bit of adrenaline behind you, and you can get over the line when you're absolutely at the end of it and you think it'll never end, but it does. And you do get there over the finish line. So there's that kind of energy coming in for you, as usual, Taurus, and you understand that too about projects and commitments, that you've just got to give it your all and get over the line at the end of the day. So that looks really positive. So just remember that when you may be feeling a bit like, oh my God, it's never going to end. Near future. And we have the 9 of Swords, so a bit of fear for the fear's sake coming in. Don't get into your head too much, Taurus. It's not a good space for you to be in, or any of us really. So just keep a fear for fear's sake. Maybe sleepless nights, a bit worrying about things, you know, just for the sake of worrying. So try and sort of put a bit of a squash on that, so you're not sort of driving yourself crazy with that 9 of Swords, because it won't be helpful for you. So fear for fear's sake, sleepless nights, all that kind of thing comes in with the 9 of Wands, but it's that mental energy that we need to sort of combat with the physical energy to stop that mind just running right in your head. Let's have a look at what's happening that you're not realising, and that might give us a bit more light on what this possibly could be, what you're worrying about. Knight of Wands. Yeah, probably a bit too much too soon, a bit too fast, things going a bit too fast. Knight of Wands is very much a Sagittarian card, so it may be just like a gamble sort of card. In a way, it's a bit of a gamble. It's like, yeah, let's just go ahead. And obviously with Taurus sitting here, you've got your idealistic and you've got your sort of your Sagittarian, you know, rover here, where there could be people around you that go, yeah, come on, and you're sitting up there going, oh no, hang on a minute, pull it back a notch, we need to sort of go investigate a bit further. So you've got that coming in, but there also could be trips and etc. coming up for you, holidays, all that sort of thing coming through that you're not realising are happening. Lots of movement coming through as well with the Knight of Wands, and therefore you may be well thinking, oh, hang on, it's all too much, it's all too quick. How others see you, and the Five of Cups. So disappointment there, and they may be well looking at you going, oh yeah, disappointment. The good old Taurus is very sort of very practical, very works on what's happened in experience, knows the way things go, know it's slow and steady, and maybe sort of thinking, oh, there's a disappointment here, there's a bit of, yeah, maybe people looking at you like a bit of a disappointment, or worrying about loss and disappointment more than anything else. Five of Cups always talks about that disappointment when someone's just up and left you with no explanation whatsoever, or something just literally comes to a sudden stop and disappears and disintegrates, and you think, well, was that real? So it can be a bit of a card of, yeah, disappointment, and just, you know, something that you just didn't get any closure from, if you get what I'm saying. This could be with a relationship too, when you're looking at the Knight of Cups or the Knight of Wands, because both those knights have a propensity to sort of be there for a short time, a good time, but not a long time. So, but then they will pop up later, at a later date, to see you again. So it's all those kind of, if you get the drift, it's all those kind of emotions going on, which for Taurus doesn't really sit the best. But because he sits there over the top of the reading, it's like, yeah, well, you maintain your sort of steadfastness through it all, Taurus, in this next 4 weeks. Don't lose your mojo, whatever is going on with everybody else. It looks like it's not chaotic, but it's busy. Okay, what you're feeling positive about? The grief card, so a bit of grief coming in there, a bit of sadness coming in. Relationship-wise, if we're going down that avenue, there could be that sort of lost love or lost opportunities in love, or a fabulous, something that looked fabulous but that ended up to be not so fabulous. So it's, once again, it's Taurus's way of just being really practical about matters and what's going on within the group, within the family, whatever you like to, whatever's going on for you this month. So grief is also one of those things, you know, that we like to avoid, but somehow we can't, because if it's there, and it needs to be dealt with. The outcome, and we have the King of Cups. So very much the wounded healer coming in here, in terms of, you know, emotional intelligence, really. But this guy manages to help everybody else except himself. So there could be some deep-seated stuff going on for you too, Taurus, in terms of getting to the bottom of your grief or sadness, or things that have happened to you could well be coming in to be sort of unearthed at this time. And don't forget, we are in Pisces, which is the 12th house, so there could be and probably will be some sort of tinges of grief or heartbreak from the past that comes through for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a clarifier on this grief card. Okay. The Spider. Creative projects. Oh, that's good. Spider reminds you that you have within you the gift to create meaningful, purposeful work. Within you is an artist waiting to be expressed. Think about this. Do you write in a journal each day? Do you draw, paint, cook, or play music? Do you realise that everything you do on a daily basis is an act of co-creation with the divine? No, we probably don't, do we? But it is. The Spider signals that it's time to be aware of your responsibility for the creations in your life. Maybe you need to rethink an issue or imply your inner artist to find a solution. If you're unhappy with anything, ask yourself, how can I create a more productive and loving experience for myself and others? Whether you see yourself as an artist or not, you're always co-creating with the divine. You are the architect of your own happiness and fulfillment. What life are you building? Don't just sit there. This is time to create. There you go. Absolutely lovely. So, a very interesting reading, especially in the 11th house there, Taurus. Hold your, just hold on to your usual way of doing things. Let any grief come and wash over you. Maybe it may be a time where you can really sort of sort out a lot of the emotions that are going on around you or in you for this next 4 weeks, and that's why these cards have turned up how they have turned up this time. Thank you very much for listening, and you have a great